All right, chat. Let's get right into it. As you can see by the title, you know what we're gonna be talking about. So, I'm not gonna waste any time. So, let's go.
The bitch shaking it, showing it. You this, you that. We laughing at them together. Oh! So stop treating these mother like they mean something.
Let's go to TikTok.
All right, I'll get right into this. Myron talking to the University of Michigan students again on Uncensored about ICE and everything else.
Ryan, how are you? How you doing?
Good. What's up? What's your disagreement?
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just thankful to be here and thankful for the thing that.
Okay, we know.
What's that? Right away.
Okay, my question is.
It's like me and you only. Are there anybody? Yeah, it's just us.
Dang, it is just us. Okay, my,
Yeah.
my question is, why do you tell men that they should sleep with 50 women before settling down, even though that shows that it reports lower long-term marital satisfaction and it weakens your ability to pair bond if you sleep with 50 women?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. So that is a part of a 5-part thing that I say. So I think for men, right, in today's day and age, number one, I don't think marriage is set up for men to win. I think it's a losing deal for a majority of men, unfortunately. So if guys do want to get married, I always say you should have 5 things in place. 1, make 6 figures per year, at least, so that you can actually have a family. Number 2, have 6 months to 1 year of savings. Number 3, be in shape. Number 4, be 35 years old. Actually, a new study just came out saying men that are 35 and older when they get married have longer lasting marriages. Recently just came out. And then the 5th one is 50 women. Now, the reason why I tell guys to have 50 women isn't so that you could be a whore and just run around. It's so that you can kind of knock the luster off of females. The problem is that a lot of guys pedestalize women and sexuality from women, and they'll do stupid shit to get said sexuality. So I just want guys to be in a position where sex isn't novel to them, where they're doing stupid stuff and going, jumping through hoops to get it. Because a lot of guys will simp and put themselves in extremely compromising situations and be with women that have glaring red flags and overlook these red flags because of their dick. So I just don't want guys to be controlled by their dick. And typically, the more women that you've dealt with, the more you're able to notice red flags, the more you're able to not pedestalize them, the more you're able to understand how they really move. And that's
Boom, which is the whole 50 women. It's pretty easy. It's pretty like, if you have a brain, it's pretty easy to know what he's talking about. I hate when niggas ask this dumbass question.
really what it comes down to. So I just want guys to go in to a marriage, if they do decide to do it, from a position where your wife can't tell you some dumb shit like go take out the trash or else you're not going to get any sex. And then your dumb ass like, okay, I will. Like you need to get into a point where you have the wherewithal to know how to deal with her properly. And I would say if you have those 5 things in place, 100K per year, if not more, 6 months to 1 year of savings, be in shape, perfect. 35 years old, 50 women, you're going to be a higher level guy where a lot of women will submit to you. Because women can only submit to men that they feel are superior to them. Now, this is an ugly truth that none of them want to admit, right? And obviously, academia will never want you guys to hear this because it's considered misogynistic and fucked up. But these are the ugly realities about female nature and the mating practice. It's just that we've modernized so much that we don't like to tell these ugly truths because we want women to not feel bad. But this is the truth.
A lot more sense than I thought it was going to make. I also want to know, why are you anti-monogamy?
It's not that I'm anti-monogamy.
It's not about, about this.
I'm anti-men not making choices. So
there we go. It's just all about being able to make the choice.
Most guys are monogamous by choice. Now, let's say you're a religious guy, you figured out women, you got your money together, whatever, and you say, you know what, I'm with this woman, I want to be monogamous to her. This is my choice. Fine, I'm cool with that. My problem is when guys come in, happy wife, happy life. I'm here with the old ball and chain. Like, yeah, I got to do what she says. She's the boss. Like, that's a bunch of faggotry. Like, anyone that does that shit is literally a cuck. It should always be your woman follows you, you call things, and you always reserve the right to, if you want to get other chicks, you can. Now, if guys want to be monogamous, cool. That's fine. But here's the ugliest thing that most people will not tell you about women. Women only respect men that can replace them. It's always been that way. They find men attractive that have status and have other women. We're here on the college campus, right? Who gets all the bitches, guys? The athletes and the frat boys probably, right? Well,
What the fuck? No, why would you be getting bitches? I thought you was, huh?
you guys get the dudes maybe, the weirdos in the alley somewhere, but I would say like the heterosexual men that get all the women are athletes and the frat guys. And the reason why is because they have status on campus and other women want them. Here's another controversial take. Women are stupid, okay? And they can't make their own mating decisions. And I'll explain what I mean by this. And this kind of answers this question too from before when I talk about women making their decisions. When women make mating selections, it's heavily based on other factors that don't have to do with what she actually thinks. I'll explain. If a guy walks into a room by himself, okay, it's a dude. If a dude walks into a room with one girl, oh, he has a girlfriend. If a dude walks in with 2 girls, 3 girls, etc., now I want to get to know this guy. What's going on here? What's the story? And the fact that he has these women around him is what's called pre-selection and increases his status. Now, he's going to be more attractive to that woman because she sees other women there. Now, here's the difference. Men, we're not like that. If we see a hot bitch or even an ugly bitch, right, we don't need to ask our friend, hey, do you think she's hot? No, some of you guys might take the fat bitch, the whale, and go out the back door and not let anybody see you. But women don't operate that way. For them, they need social proof that you're worthy. So their sexual decisions and their mating decisions are heavily influenced by society. Meanwhile, for us, we don't need that. If we like the girl, we like the girl. So that's another thing to play and why it's so important for guys to understand this stuff.
Okay, you said women are stupid. Do you not think that that's kind of a reach, like a little
No, that's a fact.
bit of a reach, or
That's a fact.
do you actually think that all women
Fucking retarded.
are stupid? Or are you saying most women you know are stupid? Like
A majority of women are retarded.
Okay. You think a majority of men are not retarded, or
Same.
we're
A
smart?
majority of men are retarded too, but the
Oh,
difference
okay.
is,
Then, yeah,
well, here's the
You don't give a fuck when we say that though. That's the problem.
thing. Here's the difference. Men that are retarded are penalized for it. Women that are retarded are not.
So you think people in general are usually retarded?
They are, but women don't pay the consequence for being retarded.
And niggas don't give a fuck if we say niggas are retarded. Nobody gives a fuck. So that's why he didn't get shocked when he heard that. What? You said niggas are retarded?
What you said? He didn't get shocked when he heard that shit. Nobody gives a fuck.
Okay, that's actually kind of a fair point. Okay.
Yeah, like
All right.
At least he's not a disingenuous debater, like a bitch ass nigga.
no worries.
At least he has some
you could have
fucking
50
a
IQ
brain.
As a bitch and get like a multimillionaire. If you got a 50 IQ as a guy, you're cooked, bruh. Like, you know.
Did you say having kids too late is making people autistic?
Hello.
Yeah, what's up?
So my question's about your media presence in general.
My media presence.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty clear, like with events like this and on Instagram and your podcast, you've got people in line telling people, you got your workers in line telling people to like ask controversial questions. It's pretty clear that you're trying to like respond with controversial topics and get a lot of views from this.
That's the whole point of him being here right now is to have a conversation about certain topics. They're telling them when they're in line to ask controversial topics because we're not here to just say, hey, thank you for being here. Like that's not the whole point. The whole point is have a conversation. So if you have a question, you should come ask a question.
I didn't even know that somebody's saying ask controversial. That's not us.
But my question is, when you're spreading these things, it's fine for you to have a business like that, but do you, like, first of all, do you think that events like this, spreading misinformation, actually has a real-world effect?
Okay, what misinformation?
Like, for example, that you're a Holocaust denier, and
Okay.
you wear those shirts that say, let them cook, like you're promoting anti-Semitic propaganda, neo-Nazi propaganda, like that has real-world effects.
Okay.
Do you care about that at all?
Okay.
And if you don't, why?
Okay. So number one, boom. And then number two, when it comes to the Holocaust, here's the thing, and I've been very explicit about this, but I'll say it again. I don't deny the Holocaust. I just don't believe the official narrative that they presented.
The
And
6 million.
Yeah, I don't believe
But
that.
it's one of the most documented events in history. You can actually do your own research and find that it's 6 million.
Okay.
But you can choose not to do that and spread misinformation. And then all your followers on Instagram, if you read the comments, like these people take this information. That guy two questions ago, like you see, like you can form the political beliefs of some of these people. This has real world consequences that you just seem not to care about.
Okay, let me ask you this. So, you said that it's a widely documented event and it happened, whatever. I'm not denying that it occurred, but what I will say is this, because I don't believe the official narrative. Israel just got done doing a genocide. We witnessed for 2 years bombing all over Gaza, tens of thousands of people being killed, children, innocent people, etc. Every human rights organization has come out and said that it's a genocide officially, right? According to the definition. What do all the Zionists do? What do all these Jews come out and say? Oh, it wasn't a genocide. It wasn't a genocide. Well, we have 4K evidence that it was a genocide. We literally saw the kids getting blown up, but they deny it. So my thing is this. If they can openly deny a genocide that we all witnessed in 4K, what makes you think they won't lie about an event that occurred back in the 1940s with limited video footage, with limited evidence, right? Besides paper evidence that they said that they found after the war, by the way. And then
Imagine.
the other thing you also need to understand is that the Holocaust is a very lucrative business model.
And one of the niggas was fucking. One of the niggas that was the fucking prosecutor was Jewish. Like it was really like a fucking. You could have just made it a movie.
As well as a victimhood magnet. It allows them to monetize through museums, through tours, through books, through movies. It allows them to have a perpetual victim narrative, a perpetual victim status. So anytime someone questions them or criticizes them, they say, oh, my Holocaust. And they go ahead and say, I'm a Jew, I'm being persecuted. The reality is that if you're going to go ahead and deny a genocide, and we just witnessed that in 4K, what won't you lie about with other things, especially when the Holocaust is a pivotal part of your identity from which you draw so many benefits?
What I would say that's important in all of this is finding credible documentation, and that's exactly what they have for the Holocaust. They have the Nazi Germany's own records of the war that were kept in U.S. archives after the war, and like these are credible documents. That's what history is, looking at credible documents. Then when you look at Gaza, a lot of the information that's coming out is not credible. When you
That's crazy. Oh no, he's done. He's cooked. At least I thought he might have said he would have sided. No, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. He's obviously a Jew. This is a Jew. He's a fucking Jew. There's no way he's lying like this.
you look at a lot of
There's no fucking way he's just
it's
fucking
true.
cucked out
when
like
you
this.
look at a lot of the reports from like there's UN agencies.
Let me say this.
Can I finish real quick?
If you can, and that's fine. If you could go ahead and deny the Gaza genocide, well, I'm going to deny the 6 million figure, and we can both go ahead and have our
But
disagreements.
I'm saying there's real reason to deny the Gaza genocide, and it's much more popular.
Are you Jewish?
I am Jewish.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I mean, okay, that's an ad hominem. Like,
No, it
you
makes
don't
sense.
have
Like,
a
I
real
mean,
argument there.
you're
And I'm
coming here
saying-
pushing the Hasbara.
What I'm saying is that there's information coming out of Gaza that's biased and propaganda for Hamas, and you can choose to believe that, but there's real unbiased evidence for the Holocaust that you choose to deny, and that forms
these
the political
organizations
beliefs
that
of
identify
people,
as
and
a
this
genocide
actually
are not
matters.
Hamas.
Anti-Semitism is on the rise in the U.S., and you play a part in that.
Okay.
And you seem not to care.
Here's the thing. Anti-Semitism is on the rise because of bad Jewish behavior. That's not me. I'm not the one that decided to carpet bomb a bunch of
do
innocent
play a part
people
in that.
and say it's self-defense. I'm just reporting the facts, and then how people respond to that it is what it is. And the thing is that, see, you guys don't want to take accountability for conducting a genocide, and I find it also interesting how you're saying, oh, well, this is all Hamas propaganda. Dude, we're talking about Human Rights Watch, B'Tselem, which is an Israeli organization. They're even labeling it a genocide. Many Israeli scholars, many Jewish scholars have come out and called it a genocide.
There's also Muslim scholars that are saying that it's not a genocide. Like, that goes both ways.
Like who?
I don't have them off the top of my
Exactly.
head.
Like, dude, and
Fucking lies. I'm trying to tell you, these fucking motherfuckers just be lying. Shit.
the other thing is we have genocide experts that are coming out and saying that this is a genocide. So my thing is
Something
this.
wrong with them bitch ass
Can
niggas.
I say something in response to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
You said there are institutions saying this, but the UN institution that called this a genocide, the UN's report that they get information on the genocide about, the 3 leaders of that have long anti-Semitic histories. There is bias in the media, and there is propaganda against Jews in all of this. Like,
Okay, you guys
and
call
people can
everyone an
deny that.
anti-Semite, so I don't
no,
even
I'm
take
not
that
calling
seriously.
everyone
Because
anti-Semitic.
you said they have anti-Semitic histories. Translation: we call out bad Jewish behavior. Like, The thing is, like, Jews don't like being called out on their bullshit. They just don't, because then you guys want to call it anti-Semitism. Look, I call out every group. I talk about blacks. I talk about Muslims. They do dumb shit. I talk about every group of people. White people, white women, everybody. And my thing is, like, there's just this one group that will cancel you, shut it down, call you an anti-Semite, try to ruin your career, etc. When you say things that are true, right? You guys literally just got done doing a genocide. You guys are doing a whole bunch of wars across the Middle East, and then a genocide that the Holocaust, which you're talking about, to kill 6 million people in that period of time in the way that you guys allege that you killed them just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. There weren't enough ovens for the cookies,
when you
bro.
There
weren't enough ovens for the cookies, man.
Thing.
Like there just weren't.
You say that, but you can look at the actual documentation. Only 2.7 million people died in that
from the Nuremberg trials, which were a fucking witch hunt.
Which from like the
documents that the Allies found. From the documents that the Allies found, where they were like, "Oh yeah, these are meticulous Nazi records," and we know that the Russians were there first, and they had their issues, and they forged some of the stuff.
Lying.
It's not that. I'm just saying it just doesn't make sense that it would be conducted in the manner that they allege it was conducted and with the figures that they allege were done. I'm not denying that it happened. I'm saying that I'm questioning the numbers and some of the facts and circumstances behind how it happened. That's a big difference.
See, all right, I don't want to take too much more time, but you can question. Oh, sorry.
And the reason why you guys have been able to use this fable for so long is because questioning the Holocaust or questioning Jewish power or world Jewry has always been a frowned upon topic and can get your career destroyed. So you guys have been able to enjoy no one being able to criticize you about it until we witnessed the genocide that occurred that started in 2023. Now we can criticize Jewish power.
My last statement is that you can question it, but when you put online that your questions are your firm beliefs, your followers take that and make that their actual beliefs, and it's no longer questioning. That's their real sentiment, and it's rising in the U.S. and it has real effects.
Again, anti-Semitism is a byproduct of bad Jewish behavior. Simple as that. You guys can't kill people and not think the world's going to wake up and say what's going on here.
Israel does not represent all Jews.
Well, of course, that is true. There's a bunch of Jews that have spoken out on this thing, but a lot of most Jews are Zionists, though. The overwhelming majority of them are Zionists. Guys, let them stay. Let them stay, man. Like, we're unlike everybody else. Like, here's the thing. We are better than the left because we welcome them here to have discourse. We could disagree all day, but let him stay. He's good. It's fine.
I got more of a different question for you.
Sure.
So what do you think about the Houston Texans Super Bowl odds after watching Charlie Kirk go for 8 receptions, 144 yards?
It's another tranny? Oh, it's the same one? Hey, Chucky, come to the mic if you want. Chucky, come to the mic. I know you're mad about the kitchen joke. It's okay. You can go to the garage.
Nigga said the garage. Nigga need to go get a job. Fuck the garage. Need to get his ass a job.
I misgendered her. I said, hey, like, be in the kitchen. I should have said be in the garage.
In the garage.
But that's fine. Like,
All right. Hey, Myron, how you doing?
Yeah, what's up?
Good.
If Chucky comes back, let him know, or her, or whatever it is.
Down the similar vein of.
Oh, okay. What's up, man?
Down the similar vein of transgender violence and aggression, I wanted to give you the opportunity to finish the question that Charlie Kirk was, unfortunately assassinated on. So, in terms of mass shooting, what do you believe the percentage of mass shooting was done by transgenders in the last 10 years? Like, how many would you say there were?
I don't know that exact statistic.
Right.
You tell me.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what percentage exactly. I do know that some of the most prominent ones recently, within the last couple of years, were done by transgenders. Now, when I say that I don't think transgenders should have guns, there's a legal basis for this, and I'll quickly explain.
All right.
So, in the United States, right, and I know this from working with the ATF so closely, under 18 U.S.C. 922, having a gun is prohibited by certain prohibited persons, right? There's 9 classes. I don't know if I can name all of them off the top of my head right now, but I'll try. Convicted felons, someone that renounces their U.S. citizenship, a dishonorable discharge, mentally defective people, or committed to an institution, someone that's been convicted of a crime of misdemeanor violence with the Lautenberg Act, a fugitive from justice, and there's a couple others I just can't remember. Illegal aliens. There's like 1 or 2 more. What was that? Say what? Yes, yeah, that goes into the Lautenberg one. Yes, being under a protection order or crime of misdemeanor violence. Yes. So all of these different things. I think with transgenders, a lot of them fall in the category of
Mental illness.
damn near being put into a mental institution or being mentally unstable. Oh, and drug users also. Drug users are considered prohibited people and can't have a gun.
They're on a lot of
Mental
medications,
disability.
a lot of
Yeah.
mental medication.
Yeah, because I mean, like, look, they are 100% within their prerogative. If they want to transition, they don't feel like they're, if they're a guy and they feel like they're a girl and vice versa, that's fine. But I think giving these people the ability to carry a weapon when they're not all the way there mentally, I think we have to have a very honest conversation here. And, I'm not for gun restriction. I'm really not.
Right.
But there are classes of prohibited people for a reason.
All right. Appreciate it.
No worries, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if you could look that set up, let me know. Come back up to the mic. And I appreciate you coming from Chicago. Just don't get shot by the NIGs, please.
Okay, I want to debate you on Renee Good. I watched the video a couple times, and it seems like very clear-cut murder.
Okay.
First, I want to walk through like what happened, like the timeline. So first, she reverses, and then she turns her wheel all the way to the right, and the cop is in front of, or the ICE agent is in front of the windshield, so he has pure vision of her turning it all the way to the right. She starts driving. The car is turning right. He takes time to put his foot down, shoot once through the windshield before jumping out, never falling. He never gets hit over. He gets hit a little bit, but he stays on his feet.
I'm about to say,
twice more to the
if you watch the video, you got to be honest.
window. How can the second and third shot ever be justified? And why would he not just jump away initially?
So as soon as they go over her lawful commands, and she did not obey those lawful commands and started
was over.
driving towards him, whether the steering wheel was turned all the way to the right or not, a lot of people would interpret that as a threat. Once she became a threat, law enforcement is trained to stop the threat with lethal force. They meet lethal force with lethal force. Now, again, I want to be extremely clear about this. When it comes to use of force and everything else like that, we don't go off 20/20 hindsight and Monday morning quarterbacking, because when you're there in the thick of a moment and you're not, and you're obviously it's a life or death situation, you're not going to sit there and quickly analyze like, oh, did she turn it far enough where it won't hit me? You just are trying to get out the way and defend yourself and stop the threat. Because once she drove at him, as soon as let me be clear about this. As soon as she started driving at him, all bets are off. She basically became a threat, and now now he is allowed to stop that threat in any way he sees fit at that time, and that's why he did that.
Okay, so I think if you give a citizen with a gun and you put him in the exact same situation, 9 times out of 10 he's jumping out of the way. If you just put a citizen with a gun in that situation, 9 times out of 10 he's jumping out of the way. Why is
you said a citizen?
Yes.
Okay.
Why is the bar
big difference here? He's law enforcement.
The ICE
he has
is
zero
meant to
duty to
de-escalate.
retreat. Because in Minnesota, you're right. If that was a citizen, they do have a duty to retreat to some degree. Yeah, that's more arguable. But from his perspective, he's a law enforcement officer. They gave her lawful commands. She was committing a felony. He has no duty to retreat at all.
Do you think it was very obvious to him at the time that her wheel was locked to the right because he had pure vision of it?
Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Hindsight is 20/20, and we do not go off of hindsight on shootings.
Relevant.
Why is that relevant?
Because here's the thing.
Once she started driving towards him, regardless of how turned the wheel was, she was cooked.
Based off of him looking at her,
Because she wasn't supposed to be driving anywhere.
The wheel.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how her wheel is. He doesn't know the functionality of the car. He doesn't know if her turning wheel all the way to the right is going to be able to be enough clearance for her to not hit him. Like if someone pulls a knife just this much, right? And they're coming towards you while pulling a knife just this much. Okay. Are you going to sit there and wait and see, let me see if it's long enough to actually kill me? No, you're going to fucking dumb act up him.
He can jump out of the way. Like, why is the bar so low? How unathletic is this guy that he can't fucking jump out of the way? Like he
tried, and he shot at her.
No,
at the same
he
time.
stopped, shot her. No, he shot her and jumped. He shot her and jumped.
That might be from training, because they tell you they teach you, hey, take a quick stance, shoot, and then he moved out the way after he took his first shot. But dude, again, like if you're
okay, second and third shot. Why did he shoot through the window? He's safe. There's no way he can get hurt. He is to the side of her.
We're stopping the threat now.
He doesn't, because he's to stop the threat. Once she
stop what threat?
She's a threat. That
to
moving
who?
car.
To who? To who?
To him and others.
He's on. They're all
to him
agents
and others. Other agents were there.
On the side.
Other people
no
were
one
there
was
as
sure
well.
right. No one was sure right.
Once you show yourself to be a threat to law enforcement where you're using a deadly weapon to them, it is reasonable, important, it is reasonable to assume that they will use that deadly weapon on others as well.
If you're bold enough to use it on the police.
The ICE agent should know that she's trying to flee, very obviously. Then why are these guys our agents? Like, this guy's worse than how any citizen would conduct himself.
Well, here's the thing. You don't get to break the law and commit a felony and then say, oh, like, give me the benefit of the doubt. Like, a reasonable person would say, hey, we told you to get out the car. You disobeyed. You backed up the car. He pulls out his gun. Gun is facing you. You drive towards him. And then her wife also said, just drive, go. So A reasonable person's going to be like, okay, I'm going to shoot this person because they're coming at me with a car.
The
Which
person
he
would jump
actually
out of
did.
the way of a moving car. They wouldn't shoot and jump.
Dude, your logic is basically this. Someone pulls out a knife just this much. Wait until it's all the way out and you know it's big enough to
while
actually
running
kill
away.
you.
Yeah, they pull out a
Then
knife
you
while
shoot
running
them.
away.
No, dude, that's not common sense, reasonable force. You're not going to sit there and try to find out. If deadly force is presented towards you, whether it's imminent and a reasonable person will believe it's imminent, you can shoot. That's how it goes. That's the law.
All right.
If you want to argue morality and stuff like that, that's different. But I'm saying from a legal standpoint, he's 1,000% justified. And if he does get charged somehow, it's probably going to get thrown out because of the supremacy clause. Or if it doesn't, for some odd reason, he goes to trial, he's going to win all day.
All right, one more question.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel kind of like a bitch, like holding water for people who hate you? Like you dress up like a KKK person as though like they don't lynch people for looking just like you. Like how do you reconcile?
But he dressed up like the Hispanic niggas too. I don't get it, man. These niggas are so. The rage bait is hilarious.
I'm actually a Grand Wizard for the KKK.
Right. Do you ever kind of feel like a cuck? Like, hey, like I'm supporting guys that fucking hate my guts or no?
Yeah, I'm actually a Klan member. Actually, lots of Klan members watching my show. They fuck with me, yeah. A lot of white nationalists watch the show and support.
But do you kind of
actually,
feel like
it's kind of funny?
no?
You know what's kind of funny? I get more love from white nationalists and white supremacists than I do from blacks. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Does that make you feel like a bitch?
Okay. Now you're just trying to name call or whatever because you got embarrassed in the debate.
Okay.
We have more hecklers than a thing. Hey, if you disagree, you could come debate, man. You could come debate. It's Chucky again? Okay. Yeah. So no, but yeah, dude. That was your comeback. Is
no, I'm just
a Klan
okay,
hood?
okay, fine. How do you reconcile that these guys hate you and you support them? Like they hate people who look like you just because of their skin color.
Actually, here's the thing. They don't hate me. Because my thing is I go up. This is what I've realized, right? If you're a competent individual, right, and you have good moral character, you have integrity, you do right by people. A lot of the times, some of the most racist people will be like, you know what, I fuck with you, I like you, and they look at you as an individual. Now,
okay, so if you're like in like the Jim Crow era, would you like go up to KK members and be like, hey, I'm a really nice guy, please don't kill me? Like I don't understand. How is that not a cuck position?
No, I just wouldn't act like a fucking nigga. Like it's kind of easy.
It's not about being a cuck position. It's about when you tell the truth, people tend to respect it, and I just tell the truth. Like I'm not saying things just because I want approval from certain groups of people. It just so happens that the things I talk about are so taboo that certain groups of people tend to be like, you know what, I wish I could say that, but I can't.
Do you think the KKK is a good organization?
Here's the thing. I think every single group of people should be able to practice racial nationalism. Like, for example,
do you think the lynchings conducted by KKK members was okay?
Let me go through this. I think every group of people should be able to love themselves. Why is it that people can say Black Power? Why is it that Latinos can say Viva la Raza? Why is it that Muslims and Arabs can say
do you
I
think
love hold on, because here now you know. Here's the difference. Every group of people can practice loving their group of people and their culture, except for white people. White men, for some odd reason, cannot say white power without being labeled a white supremacist, white nationalist, and losing every single opportunity because, though. But if a black person says, Black Power, we're Black Panthers, matter of fact, right now in Minneapolis, before I came over here, got a bunch of Black Panthers with fucking guns saying, we here for the people. What if it was a bunch of white nationalists doing that? They'd get arrested. They'd be targeted by the FBI. So my thing is I just call out the wild discrepancy where every group of people can love their race and talk about their race, except for white people. Isn't that kind of weird?
That's fine. I don't care about that.
Oh,
do you think it's
see,
do you think
now
it's
he
okay?
gets this
No,
proven
sure,
wrong
Sure,
and-
go ahead. Say white power. Do you think that it's okay for the KKK to?
This guy's
lynch
probably
people?
Jewish.
Okay. Do you think?
Ah, yeah, he is.
It's okay that they did that in the past.
What was that?
Do you think it's okay that they did that in the past?
Well, here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Come on, just answer.
So-
It's a yes or no question, bro.
If they committed a crime, then yeah, lynch them.
It was
Like Leo Frank, for example.
So when
like
the
Leo
guy-
Frank, they lynched him.
So when the guy whistled
Because he raped a
across
fucking
the street
kid.
from a white girl and he gets fucking lynched for that, do you think that was okay?
If the facts and circumstances are he raped a-
Seriously, are you such a, why can't you answer the question yes or no, bro? Do you think it's okay that the guy got lynched for whistling at a fucking white girl?
for whistling at a white girl?
Yes, that's what he got lynched for.
Whistling, no, that's kind of crazy.
Okay, so why are you dressing up as a KK member?
It's funny.
Okay, that's
It's
fine.
funny, like I
Just-
mean, like it triggers like pussies like you, like
Oh
you know what I
God,
mean? Like
now
you're
he's
so
mad.
If being
It's
a
like
cuck for
it's
other people
my
is being,
it's my
is
middle
screwing
finger
people,
to the
then go for it, bro.
establishment.
Like
It's here's the thing
if
you gotta
being a cuck
understand.
empowers you, go for it. That's
No,
fine.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's a middle finger to
Bro's
the
so
establishment
angry at
politically
nothing.
correct pussies that get mad and offended by everything. And my thing is, I have a bunch of funny ass things. I got like a Jewish hat that I wear. I got an Arab hat that I wear. I wear a bunch of like a sombrero. I
Okay,
got a
so you don't
fucking
support
Chinese
the
hat.
so you don't support the,
So,
you don't support the KKK.
but the thing is that like people.
No, obviously not. You fucking dumb ass. But you niggas get so angry when you hear some shit. You ready to jump and kill somebody because you heard some shit. Fucking idiots. Fucking idiots. Like low brain, no brain, low IQ monkeys around
get
me.
most offended when you whenever you have like a take that like supports white people or whatever. It's like white people can't like love
It's
themselves.
like,
Like, they can't,
holy.
white people cannot say white power without getting like labeled some pejorative racial term, and it's ridiculous. And I'm one of the few people that calls it out. I think if blacks want to be able to say black power and love their group of people and say keep it black, fine. I think white people should be able to do the same. I don't have to agree with it or like it. I'm actually for interracial marriage, but I respect someone that says I don't want interracial marriages and I want to keep my kids white, and I don't think they should be penalized for that.
Boom.
Okay,
It's pretty
that's
easy.
fine. I'm
Like
just asked about the KKK, which I don't think is like, it's very different than that. All right, thank you for your time.
right. Nice little uncensored by Myron. Those some nice little couple victims that we had. They were pretty funny, especially the black guy. I mean the Jew. But yeah, see what Nick has to say about the downfall of Trump administration and what we have going on. I think this was yesterday. Yeah. Let's see what we got going on today.
Stories about this hearing, which was held in the House Judiciary Committee. Trump administration continues to come under fire for their handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files, and specifically, people are demanding, one, that we get all the files, and two, that we actually see some accountability. And I believe we discussed this on Monday. In the files that have actually been released, we have found that the Department of Justice has identified 6 people that are likely incriminated in connection with Jeffrey Epstein, which is kind of a shock. Because again, last year they said the case is closed. We're not pursuing anybody. There's no persons of interest. There's no investigation ongoing.
What? They said nothing is going on. They said they didn't even have the files. What?
And inside the files that they released, they say that there are no fewer than 6 people that are likely incriminated, meaning they could be indicted if the DOJ pursued them. Now, the names have been redacted. 2 of them have been unmasked by Thomas Massie. Thomas Massie, as a representative, has the privilege of seeing the unredacted files. He knows all 6 names. He's asking the DOJ to unredact those names, but he has offered 2 of them, and they are Les Wexner, the billionaire Jewish benefactor of Jeffrey Epstein, and an Emirati billionaire named, I think, Suleiman something. I don't have the name memorized off the top of my head, but some Emirati businessman from the Gulf. That's 2 out of the 4 that have been named. And in any case, there's tons of pressure on the Trump administration. We want to know those names. We want all of the unredacted files, and we want the 3 million other files that the DOJ didn't even put out in any form.
Yeah,
Well,
we
Pam
need all that.
Bondi had to face the House Judiciary Committee today, and she was pressed about this.
If y'all don't know who Pam Bondi is, let me show y'all who. Y'all don't know who Pam is. Let me show you. She is the United States Attorney General right here. Pam Bondi, 60 years old.
This had to be the most extraordinary performance I have ever seen. Think about where we are here. You are in the middle of arguably one of the biggest scandals that has hit the government since like Dennis Hastert 20 years ago. This is one of the biggest political scandals, maybe since Monica Lewinsky, since Watergate.
I was about to say,
This is a
since
really big
fucking-
deal. We're talking about a sex trafficker grooming underage girls, potentially for blackmail, in order to compromise, and this is documented, members of the British royal family, other foreign governments, involved with Israeli intelligence, involved with some of the most elite billionaires, elite members of the public and private sectors in American life. Trump is the president. He is connected to this. Many members of his cabinet are directly or indirectly connected to this. Think of where you are. Pam Bondi is the Attorney General of the United States. She has been forced to uncover up what she tried to cover up last year, and now she's hauled before the Judiciary Committee of Congress. She has to know she's going to be questioned about this.
Right.
She has to know there are going to be questions about these 3 million Epstein files, which were just released.
She has to have some good, some good explanation on why the fuck she lied about them and then released them and then ain't released all of them and then redacted a lot of shit and then incriminated some people. She's got to have some good answers, right?
And about those that are likely incriminated and about the victims and the nature of this. And she's pressed about all of it. And you know what her response was? She gets in front of the committee and she basically says, hey, why are we even talking about this? That's the playbook. She gets in front of the committee. You have Epstein's
Why are we talking about this, Pam? This motherfucker said that. She said, why are we even talking about this? Fuck, Pam. Maybe because the world is figuring out that Israel has been controlling the U.S. for a couple of decades now since JFK's assassination. And niggas is getting tired of it.
Victims in the background. You got Democrats and Republicans pressing her. Hey, what's up with the rest of the files? When are you going to unredact the files? What are you going to say to the victims? Are you actually going to pursue the people that are incriminated in the files? And the playbook that is premeditated that she's running, she comes in and says, well, this is all really just a big distraction. She goes, we should talk about something else like the stock market. The stock market? That was literally her response. She goes, well, what about the Dow Jones? And what about the NASDAQ? Why is no one talking about this? Well, let's see. For starters, you're the Attorney General, so I don't know why you would be talking about the stock market when you run the Department of Justice. Not the Department of the Treasury, not the National Economic Council, not the Commerce Department. You're the head of the Justice Department. So I don't know. Why don't we start there? She goes, why are we talking about the stock market? Well, for openers, you're the Attorney General. Number two, you're sitting before the House Judiciary Committee. So why would you think that would be appropriate? You think that the Judiciary Committee is holding a hearing with the Attorney General to talk about the economy? Why would that even make sense? That would be like bringing the head of the Defense Department or the War Department in front of the Intelligence Committee or Foreign Relations Committee and saying, hey, why are we talking about the Super Bowl? Why are we talking about education? I don't know. It's the Judiciary Committee and you're the Attorney General. This is a story from the Wall Street Journal about this disaster. It says, quote, Attorney General Pam Bondi defended the Justice Department's release of files from the Jeffrey Epstein investigation during a fiery congressional hearing in which she traded barbs with Democrats, praised President Trump, and declined to apologize to a group of the convicted sex offenders' victims seated behind her. Her appearance on Wednesday before the House Judiciary Committee got off to a tense start when Democrats blasted the department's redactions of material in the released Epstein files, which revealed photos and intimate details about numerous victims while keeping some prominent names secret. Representative Pramila Jayapal, a Democrat, said, your department has shown a pattern of redacting the names of powerful predators. He asked the victims seated behind Bondi to raise their hands if they had been unable to meet with the Justice Department to discuss their concerns. All 11 people raised their hands. He said, will you turn to them now and apologize for what the DOJ has put them through? Bondi said, I am not going to get in the gutter for this woman. Get in the gutter. The dramatic exchange set the tone for the rest of the hearing, with Bondi and her Democratic questionnaires frequently interrupting each other with shouts and recriminations. She accused lawmakers of trying to engage in theatrics and directed pointed criticism at those challenging the the Trump administration's actions, including its immigration crackdown and investigations into a pair of deadly shootings by federal agents. She said, "You sit here and attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I am not going to put up with it. The Dow is over 50,000 right now, the S&P at almost 7,000, and the NASDAQ smashing records. That's what we should be talking about." She said, "This isn't a circus, it's a hearing."
Yeah, good job, Attorney General. Let's talk about the stocks. Let's talk about how y'all are fucking all of us on the stocks because y'all know when the fuck is going up and down. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Now, the NASDAQ?
Let's talk about that.
What is wrong with you? Are you retarded? You're the Attorney General. This is a hearing for the Judiciary Committee. You run the Justice Department. You are in the middle of a giant scandal with the Justice Department. You just released 3 million documents about a huge criminal investigation. And you're saying, why aren't we talking about the NASDAQ? I don't know. Why would we be talking about the NASDAQ here? Why would the Attorney General of the Justice Department at the Judiciary Committee in the middle of this scandal be talking about the stock market? You fucking idiot. I mean, does that even make any sense? One of the bill's primary sponsors, Representative Thomas Massey, questioned Bondi during Wednesday's hearing over what he described as multiple failures, including the inadvertent release of victim details and the redaction of famous names. He said, quote, "Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did," Massey told her. Bondi, in turn, blamed the Biden administration for its handling of the files. She said this cover-up spans decades and you are responsible for this portion of it. Or rather, that's what Thomas Massey said. Bondi was dismissive. She said, "This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. You're a failed politician." Representative Jamie Raskin said, "We saw your performance in the Senate and we're not going to accept that. This isn't a game." She hit back, "You don't tell me anything, you washed-up loser lawyer." Most Republicans rallied to Bondi's defense.
The fuck is this? What the fuck are we doing here? Like, what is this lunch? The lunchroom? Like, what the fuck is this? And these are the niggas in charge? Oh my God. I could be in charge.
Working to correct a Justice Department that her Democratic predecessors had wielded as a weapon against Trump and his supporters. Representative Brandon Gill said, "Thank you for returning the DOJ back to its core focus, which is on the rule of law." Now, here is what likely happened. So first of all, let's just say this. This is a catastrophe. This is a total disaster. I don't know what they think they're doing here. I don't know if they think this is working or what they think they're getting away with. This is not working. They're not getting away with anything. And they haven't been for an entire year. I don't know what Trump is thinking. I don't know who is telling him that this is working, but it isn't. This Epstein scandal has been going on and on, basically for a year now. I believe it was in February of last year when they gave out the binders to DC Drano and Mike Cernovich and Scott Pressler. This has been going on since then. And then Pam Bondi said the files were on her desk. And then Trump lied and said that he didn't have 1,000 FBI agents look for his name in the files. And then they put out that memo saying case closed. Then they shut down Congress early to prevent them from forcing the DOJ to release the files. This has been going on and on for a year, and it's getting worse. This is getting worse all the time. It started out very small last February. They tried that binder distraction.
This nigga hate them niggas with the binders. He hate them niggas that had the binders. He always bring this story up. This nigga hate them niggas with the binders, even though that shit was some bullshit.
Were suspicious and people didn't like it, but it was relatively contained. Now, this is like destroying the GOP. Look at the favorables. Look at the numbers. It is a disaster. It is especially a disaster for the younger people. It is killing Trump's favorability. It's killing his job approval. Nobody is happy with this. And you see this performance today. This track is just not working, and it never has. This has been their playbook basically since July, where the public are demanding answers, which, by the way, they have a right to. Okay, Jeffrey Epstein was a very sick criminal connected to a lot of powerful people. The DOJ is lying about what they have.
Right.
This is a problem of their own creation. It was the DOJ that said there are no files, there are no other persons of interest. Well, both of those things are now provably lies, demonstrably lies. We have 6 million files. Or
Still
rather,
got 3
they've acknowledged the existence of 6 million files. We have 3 million.
Okay, I was about to say.
And we have at the minimum 6 people likely incriminated by the files, 4 of which have not been named. So this is a problem of their own creation. They lied about it. The public is reasonable for demanding transparency and disclosure. And the Trump administration's response, by the way, also to something that they promised. So Trump promised transparency. People are reasonable in demanding it. The DOJ lied and then debunked their own lie. And the Trump admin's response to the pressure is to say, well, this is just fake. This is all fake, and this all just needs to go away.
That's what Trump said about the files.
This is all a Democrat hoax, and this is the Biden administration, and this is just a ploy, and we really just need to focus on the economy. And like I said, let's just say in the first place, this is not working. No one is buying this. This is not effective. This is not smart. This is a catastrophic failure. It's not even close, like it's a disaster. Now, why are they doing this? Let me tell you what is happening in the White House. Trump is delusional, okay? You need to know this. Trump is sick. He is a delusional person. I don't know if it's his age. I don't know if it's his personality. I don't know if it's because he's been in this reality distortion field for so long. But I know firsthand from people that talk to the president, from people that know the president, this guy is delusional. You pick up the phone and talk to the president. You go to a meeting and talk to the president. And I know people that have done this, and it's hours of self-congratulations, hours of, this is my most successful administration. We've done more than anybody. The East Wing is going great. We've got the best numbers. It's all the... So this is like the Mad King. This guy is sick. He believes his own press. He is in his own world. Out here, in reality, everybody knows this is a disaster. Everybody knows immigration's a disaster. The economy's a disaster. The foreign policy's a disaster. It's a giant disappointment. This Epstein thing is a catastrophe. He doesn't know that. Now, because of that, and because of his cult-like control over the administration, he is advising his people to run this playbook. So I'm sure that Pam Bondi is huddling with the president, huddling with the White House before this hearing, and they know the questions are coming. And I'm sure that Trump is telling his people that this is how they got to play it. I'm sure he's telling them, if you get attacked, if you get questions, you got to talk about our record. You got to go back to how good we're doing. This is Trump and this is Susie Wiles. This is coming from the White House. This is their directive. This is their guidance. And I'm sure little Pam Bondi, this dumb little idiot, is going to the House with her marching orders from Trump and Susie Wiles, and she's going, I'm hitting that playbook. They asked me about the giant cover-up of the sex trafficking island. I'm going to talk about the Dow. They asked me about the victims of grooming and sexual trafficking. I'm going to talk about the NASDAQ and the border. And here's the thing. For those that are defending this administration still somehow,
I don't know how. It's got to be like the boomers that's still defending this bullshit.
at what point is there any accountability here? You know, because I know there are a lot of people still defending Trump and they still think it's five-dimensional chess and he's winning and, you know, everybody's like an armchair tactician. And they're talking about how Minnesota's not really a retreat, and this Epstein thing is going really well, and all the rest of it. They say about Trump that he hired all the wrong people. Well, Pam Bondi's the problem. Well, he's getting bad advice. Okay, who hired the people? They say, well, Kristi Noem, well, she's just an idiot. Trump needs a better person. Pam Bondi, she's just an idiot. Trump needs better. He's just getting bad advice. Okay, but this has been going on for 10 years. I lived through the whole first administration, and it was the same story. It's bad personnel. He's got bad advisors. He's getting bad advice. Okay, well, he's a grown man, and he's the president, and he's 100 years old. So, who hired these people? He did. He handpicked them. He hand-selected them. Who's taking the advice? He is. There's no excuse.
Right.
And then they want to blame it on the Biden administration. They say, well, this is Biden's DOJ. It's a Democrat op. This is left over from Biden. Okay, so why the fuck did we elect you then? We're a year in. We are a year into our golden age. We are 25% through with this second term. And you don't have it figured out by now? They're still blaming it on the Democrats? Isn't that kind of what they do with everything? Why is there no peace in Ukraine? Well, the Democrats left us a mess. Why is the economy still bad? Well, the Democrats left us a mess. Well, why are the Epstein files still covered up? Well, the Democrats ruined the DOJ. Okay, so why elect Republicans then? If Democrats get in, everything's their fault. If Republicans get in, everything's the Democrats' fault. If Trump gets elected, well, it's not really his fault. It's only the people that he hired that are at fault. I've been saying it for a long time. The problem is him. This is a difficult pill for people to swallow, and I get it, and I understand, and I know. The problem is him. He is fundamentally not up to the job. He is out to lunch. He has never been good at governing, not in the first term, not in the second term. He does not have it together. His people suck. The advice sucks. His instincts are terrible. And I'm sure he told Pam Bondi, you got to go out there in the House and you just got to go on the record. You got to go and play up our record, and you got to dodge all this stuff about Epstein. Now, here's the problem for Trump. This Epstein scandal is not going anywhere. This is a huge problem.
Yep.
Everybody knows about it. We don't have censorship anymore, so people that are talking about it are not going to be banned. They're not going to be silenced or deboosted. And this is going to go straight into the midterms. What do you think the Democrat playbook is going to be in 2026? The Democrats have a major cash disadvantage going in, but the polls are favorable. Historically, it favors the opposing party. And they're going to run this Epstein thing. They're going to run it from now until the midterm elections. And you know what's going to happen? The Democrats are going to take the House. And what happens in 2027 when Democrats have a majority in the House? They get committees. They get subpoena power. And what do you think they're going to do throughout 2027? They're going to haul everybody before the House committee, the House Select Committee on Jeff Epstein, the House Select Committee on all these things, and they're going to drudge up all this stuff in 2027. They're going to compel testimony. They're going to compel the release of more documents, and they're going to put it in the media by talking about it and doing it, impeaching, indicting. They're going to put it in the media.
Oh, no, that's good.
And they're going to do it throughout 2027 into 2028. And then it's going to be a story in the 2028 election. Okay? This isn't going anywhere because the Democrats are going to be pushing it. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. And here's the thing about all this. You know, in a certain sense, obviously the Democrats are exploiting it for their advantage. Let's not be naive here. Okay, Democrats are implicated in the files just as much as Republicans. They just are. Bill Clinton was on Lolita Express. Howard Lutnick is inviting Epstein to a Hillary Clinton fundraiser. Epstein is using similar coded language just like the Podestas were in the WikiLeaks emails with Pizzagate. So let's not pretend like anybody's innocent here. It's Republicans and Democrats. And it is true that the Biden administration had 4 years to release the files, and they didn't. So the Democrats are exploiting it. Here is the issue for Republicans. They ran on releasing the files, and more than that, they ran on draining the swamp. Isn't that the whole conceit of Trumpism? Isn't that the whole point? Trump ran in 2016 saying, we are going to drain the swamp. We are the voice for the forgotten men and women of America. I am not a politician. I am an outsider. And we're going to deliver a real victory. And we are going to get rid of the corruption. And we're going to make America great again. I mean, literally, that was the conceit of the first Trump administration. And I told you at the very beginning, there's something sort of richly ironic about this hearing. Because when I see Pam Bondi, and she's fielding these questions, and she's doing this Trumpian pivot, and she says, you're a loser lawyer, you have Trump derangement syndrome, you're a failed politician, what about our record? She's channeling Trump. That's classic Trump. You're a loser lawyer. She's channeling Trump. But in a way, it's a sick farce. It's like a warped and twisted and ironic farce, because when Trump invented that playbook in 2016, when he would call them Little Marco and Lion Ted and all that kind of stuff, Crooked Hillary, when he would pivot and he would do these kinds of things, it was attractive and it was appealing and it felt righteous because he was sitting on our side. He was the voice of the people, and he was directing it against a corrupt establishment. He was fielding questions from the corrupt establishment, which was connected to Epstein, which was connected to the Podestas, which was connected to all this evil stuff. All the lies about the wars in the Middle East, all the lies about the elites, all the lies about the weird sexual stuff at Comet Ping Pong and the weird art and all of that. And Trump was fighting them on our behalf. So when he was diminutive, when he was calling them Little Marco and Lion Ted and Crooked Hillary and doing that playbook, he was a champion of the people. Now, here we are 10 years later, and it's reversed. And like I said, it's like a sick parody. It's like a bizarro parody of Trumpism, where now Trump's people represent a new establishment. It's like Animal Farm. And now the new guard is indistinguishable from the old regime. The Trumpists, Mar-a-Lago, MAGA, is indistinguishable from the Clinton machine, from the global special interests. I mean, think about this. In 2016, Trump was railing against special interests, the big banks, the international institutions, foreign governments, foreign spies. And he was even talking about how Bill Clinton was a sexual predator. Now it's a mirror image. And it's Thomas Massie and the Democrats interrogating Trump's attorney general. And they're in the position of protecting the privileged. They are protecting the pedophiles. They are protecting the elites, the sex traffickers.
Right.
You have the Democrats and Thomas Massie interrogating the Trump administration about how they are not being transparent. They're covering up for Epstein. They're covering up for the bankers. They're covering up for Ronald Lauder. They're covering up for Les Wexner. They're covering up for the Emirates, for Israel, for Ehud Barak. They're trying to save face for the global special interests, for the corrupt, for these degenerates that run the society. And Pam Bondi is doing it in this Trumpian way, and it's like a house of mirrors. It's like an evil, wicked farce. She's doing the, oh, okay, Little Marco in defense of Epstein. Okay, lying lawyer. Oh, that's Trump derangement syndrome. You're a failed politician. in defense of Jeffrey Epstein and Les Wexner and World Jewry. Literally the sickest shit imaginable. And like I said on Friday, who are they really protecting? And this is important. People say they're pedo protectors. It is true that the people they're protecting are engaged in sexual assault, and increasingly it looks like they are protecting something more sinister. When you look at the coded language and the rest of it, at the minimum, it's sexual perversion, trafficking, prostitution, at the minimum, what can be proved beyond a shadow of a doubt. What they're really protecting, however, is world Jewry.
Exactly.
As we talked about on Friday. Every single thing about Epstein is Jewish. Leon Black and Les Wexner, his two benefactors, Jewish. Howard Lutnick, Benjamin Black, Kevin Warsh, all of these Trump admin nominees and personnel, they're all Jewish and connected to Epstein. When you see Pam Bondi going out there as the gladiator in defense of this, talking about the stock market, it is in defense of global Jewry, which controls this administration.
Boom. That's what we got.
And there's something really twisted about this, which is there is another lens to look at the Trump administration. A lot of people see the Trump administration as a disappointment or a failure. They look at it as a mixed bag. Well, we're getting some things, but we're disappointed with other things. We're rooting for Trump, but some things we can't get over. It's very important to have the right mental model about what is really happening. We have to categorize things and periodicize things correctly. It's very important how we conceptualize things. And I think people are conceptualizing the Trump administration all wrong. I think about the plan trusters, people that really support the president, voted for the president, and in their mind, you know, they like Trump, they agree with Trump, Trump represents the party they support, and they're looking at it like it's a race or like it's a game. And they're in the stands and they're cheering. They got their foam finger, they got their hat, and they need to keep the morale up. They got to rally and they got to clap and do the wave so that their guy on the field gets a boost and he can win the race. He can win the game. And they're looking at it like it's this back and forth. There's innings, there's quarters. You know, sometimes Trump is in the lead and he's really performing well. And sometimes he falls behind. He's not doing so well. And we got to show up for the team, win, lose, or draw, rain or shine. That's kind of how they look at it. They're looking at it like a horse race, like a baseball game.
No.
And when they see this stuff with Epstein, they say to themselves, like a fan does in the stands, they say, come on, Trump, what are you doing? You know, keep your eye on the ball. They're saying, come on, ump, that's a terrible call. You know, what are you doing? This is how they're looking at it. This is the wrong mental model. It's the wrong way to look at it. There's another lens how you can look at the Trump administration. I don't think it's like that at all. I don't think it's a horse race. I don't think it's a baseball game. I don't think he's our team.
Listen, we're not even on the same team.
He's not our team representing us.
No.
Trump is a man, and he's representing himself. And 2 years ago, he had a lot of problems. He was a man with a lot of problems. He was facing 100 years in prison. And that was a problem that could only be solved by becoming the president. Right? You're Trump. You're one of the most hated men in the world. You're going bankrupt. You're facing 100 years in prison. And you don't just have yourself to worry about, but your whole family. Maybe you can afford to go to prison, although you don't want to. But who's going to take care of the Trump organization? And what are those people going to do when they're out of a job? So Trump has to run for office, and he's got to win. Well, how does he do that? Who's going to help him win the presidency?
Mayor Adelson.
Well, it's pretty clear that after October 7th,
Elon Musk,
the Jews decided that a Republican had to win, and they didn't want it to be Trump. First, they wanted it to be DeSantis. Then they wanted it to be Haley. And Trump, as a self-advocate, fought them and got the nomination. So they got stuck with Trump, but they needed him to win. And they needed him to win, maybe to do these jobs. They needed Trump to win. Why? So they could turn Gaza into a
Strip
smart
mall.
city, into a blockchain smart city. They needed Trump so they could take the West Bank. They needed Trump so they could expand the Abraham Accords in Syria and Lebanon. They needed Trump so they could get their war with Iran. They needed Trump maybe to bury the Epstein files. And one way to look at Trump is that he is like a Trojan
Puppet.
horse.
Just a puppet.
You were the sucker, actually, in this deal. It's not like Trump needed the Jewish money to get elected to help you out. No, he needed your votes to get elected to help the Jewish money out. And MAGA, the movement, is just a casualty. That's kind of how you have to look at it.
Yeah.
For them,
Yeah. No lie, Nick is definitely talking that shit right now. I'm sorry to say this, but MAGA is cooked, y'all. After bombing Qatar, bombing Iran, well, fake doing a deal with Iran and then them getting bombed. Venezuela, even though that was a W for our economy on the low, it's still an L. What else? Yeah, it's just the files. Pam coming out saying dumbass shit. Like, yeah, it's nothing but L's coming out right now, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem like he's gonna be able to stay in office pretty long. Especially like what Nick said with the impeachments when 2027 comes rolling around and the Democrats steal the House. I don't see how he would be able to survive that because they're definitely gonna be looking for blood. But yeah. Pam, we need better answers than why are we talking about this? Let's talk about the stocks. You are the Attorney General. Please. We need some fucking answers why the Epstein files look like this. Shit is crazy. But yep, I appreciate you guys for stopping by today. We will be live Monday. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, this was a nice chill Friday. Watching stream. Make sure you guys have a good rest of your day. If you ever want to come on the show and debate, let me know. In the DMs, I don't have a problem with that at all. But yeah. Pam, we got to figure out another answer because that is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Imagine the greatest scandal in the world and you said, why are we talking about it? Like, oh my God. That's your best answer? Sheesh. What they do for Israel. Yeah, I'll see y'all boys on Monday. Peace! The bitch shaking it, showing it. You this, you that. We laughing at them together. Oh! So stop treating these like they mean something. Let's go to TikTok. The bitch shaking it, showing it. You this, you that. We laughing at them together. Oh! So stop treating these like they mean something. Let's go to TikTok.